story of a young reporter whose brother goes missing under very mysterious circumstances. And as the reporter starts to investigate, he begins to suspect that his brother's disappearance may have something to do with the fact that his brother was a fan of a strange new television show that also happens to be called Cult.
I play an investigative journalist who's got a bit of a checkered past, and his brother, who also has a troubled past, has gone missing. And being the journalist that he is, he discovers a number of clues his brother has left behind that ultimately lead him to realize he's been pulled into a cult that is not only a cult but is also a TV show. And so he's cynically sort of investigating this all along until he begins to piece it all together and sees that there's truth to it. And then he realizes the severity of what's happening, and he goes to find his brother and potentially gets pulled into the cult himself.
I play Sky. She's a research assistant on this fictional television show called Cult. And she started to notice that there's all these crazy, weird, obsessive fan websites and strange things are happening in life that are reflecting what's been happening on the show. And then Jeff, played by Matt Davis, comes to the show because his brother has disappeared as a result of being a fan. And so then they join forces and try and figure out what's really going on.
Billy is poor Billy. He's so loving, so magnanimous, so caring about everybody else, and can't understand why anybody would want to be against him. Extremely intelligent, extremely loving, extremely vulnerable, and has to protect not only this international following of his cult, he has to protect, his own little tiny place on the top of that mountain right now.
You have to watch Cult differently than you watch other shows. I love things that kind of challenge me a bit and kind of let me engage in it. And I think there's a visceral quality to Cult I'm really excited about. I think it's very fresh and hopefully everybody will kind of hook into it.
It's been a wonderful journey from Vampire Diaries into Cult. I was shooting the season finale as I was shooting the pilot of Cult, and they were trying to keep the news contained because if it got out, they would know that my character was about to get killed. So they were trying to keep it under wraps, but it actually was very truthful when they said I'll be able to do both shows, and I think that will happen.
Jason Ensler did a great job of making the fictional show and our show tonally very different. The lighting is very different, the style is very different, the characters are very different.
You know you're onto something really great when the concept of the show makes you think of so many different possibilities. And little by little, that onion will be, unpeeled.
And I think it'll offer a lot of diversity and for the audience to really get pulled in because there's so much happening. It'll just draw you in no matter what.
FearNet's coverage of Comic-Con 2012, presented by Resident Evil 6, in stores on October 2nd for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Pre-order now, rated M for mature.